you, Chairman. I want to state from the onset, from the time we received this petition, it was brought by Wasonga and his team. Chair, today, Wasonga, Badi, and Wasiri, Minister for Education, are ODA. We represent the people of Kenya. Wasonga and his team has a job. He represents a cadre, and he must ensure that his job is secure, of ensuring that he defends the lecturers. As we do this, I have also watched and listened to C.S. Okamba. This is a truthful man. This is a man that he lives with his word, and he does not. And the first win is that the fact that the minister has accepted SRC at some point misled them, and the consequence of actually following them would have resulted into an audit query. And both parties have all agreed 7.9. That is a win. Tell your lecturers that is a win, number one. That 7.9 is agreed. Question of how do we pay it? Let's look at the reality, Wasonga, my brother, and your team. I've also served in union. And I know when your members behind you are saying no, the consequence of going opposite, they will sack you. And the fear of you and your team being sacked by your members is to at least have a win, at least an upper win against the government. And on this matter, I plead to you, my brother, we represent the people of Kenya, and we have children, and these children are at home. Imagine children from as far as Baringo, where sometimes they are faced with banditry, and they are in universities. Some of them do not know even their first years. They are not acquainted in those environments. And many people would take advantage of them now that they are not in class. Please, my brother, and Minister of Education and the CS for National represented by Mwendwa, please up the game a little bit. That's why I was looking for the money for pension and the money for the salaries so that we see what can be done in between the chair and all of us and Kenyans. And I want to tell you, I also sit in public debt. I was just coming from a meeting of public debt. This country is has not stabilized in terms of debt. Please accept that we can do better than the 50% for humanity, and face your people and tell this is our country. These children are ours. These are our parents. Please up the kill of 5 billion. Let about 2 point something billion remain. And actually we can be able to accommodate that in our appropriation. Chairman, you are also a very tough chairman who have been a teacher, and you know how these people face. We can go further and close ourselves into a room and agree on at least a higher figure suggested by them, and then we call off the strike and our children go to school and we have peace in our country.
You have made your point. Members, it is now 2. I'll want us to adjourn by 2:10. So I want the remaining members to use at least 2 minutes each. Then I give the SG and we conclude, kindly. So I'll be very strict on that.
Thank you, Chair.
Maungu, if you can use 1 minute, the better.
It will be unfair to use 1 minute when McLap has used 5 minutes. So,
saying 1 minute
in the law of equity,
yes.
Okay, that was beside the point. Chair, allow me first of all mention that I look at last year when Waziri Migos entered into his ministry. I think the first challenge he faced was the strike that was then, and I think wanasema mgara muwe lakini haki mpe, sio? I think that was good. And here comes a case now. You have another challenge, Waziri. Chair, it would be good to note that it is a duty of this committee to appropriate funds. And therefore, as Waziri talks about what he talks about, it is this committee that will finally appropriate funds. And that's why I think the SG and his team found it fit to find their way into this committee. I'm aware that we are soon going to have a supplementary budget, which I think will be coming in a few weeks or in a few days to come, Chair. What I wish to request my good friend, Dr. Wasonga, is that I'm looking at the offer and the county offers, because you came before this committee with good intent to ensure that our kids are back to school. Would it be too much to ask if we were to say that this committee commits to appropriate the figures mentioned And by February, I think when they are doing the BPS, which I think will be coming before us in February, we have that deficit actually factored in the BPS, so that come June, when we are reading the budget, we actually able to appropriate. Because even if Mbadi were to say that is give the money, if this committee does not appropriate that money, it won't be there. So, Chair, it will be upon you as the chair of this committee to even confirm to these unions that in our appropriations to do in a few weeks' time, we shall factor this amount of money. And in February, when the BPS is coming before us, we shall factor the remaining to close this matter once and for all. And maybe, Waziri, going forward, it wouldn't really be fine that we have another cycle of our learners actually going back home because lecturers on strike. So probably it would be good to be magnanimous enough in your planning so that we ensure that the CB of 25-29 is well crafted, well secured to ensure that industrial actions do not recur. Thank you.
That's very good, Honorable Taitumu. Let's go back to member for CI first, and then yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Mine was simply to appreciate what the SG University Union was presented. It was so clear, so well done, to the extent that I felt it because I was also a lecturer at the university, and I saw that as a very honest presentation.
But way back in 2012.
Yeah, but I don't benefit because I left university 2013 when I first came. The second thing is that this is a big lesson that in future, let's try not to have these strikes, because universities tend to go on strike every year over salary increment, and nobody's implementing and blaming each other. Year in, year out, university lecturers go on strike. And we learn from this particular lesson that in future, all the CBAs will be implemented on time, and that there will be no strikes anymore, and that our students will not suffer together with the lecturers. We cannot afford to have the double tragedy of lecturers going on strike and students not being taught, and now trying to catch up, teach them on time becomes a challenge. To me, that is what I want to say.
Well, that's a good advice for us going into the future. Honorable Taitumu.
Chair, the major problems of the strikes that this country is witnessing are born by an institution called SRC. Due to poor advisory services now and then, I want to implore to you, Chair, call that institution so that it can give us the reasons as to why they are giving poor advice that are costing the taxpayers of this country. Chair, I want also to implore to the unions. I know I have been a teacher. You know, I have been a member of the National Executive Council, Kenya National Union of Teachers, and I know there are two things that conflict when you go to the strike. One, you must know about the entry behavior, how you get into the strike, and the exit strategy. So the problem is the exit strategy that they are they are finding themselves in. But I want to tell you, the leader, don't be bothered. Kindly craft a way. We have been there. The ministry have been there. Let the members see that you have fought a worthy battle. And I believe you will continue to. You have been there for long, together with your Songa and the rest. And you have really fought. And you are a fighter. So for the sake of the children, for the sake of the Kenyans, kindly brave this one and call off the strike. Thank you.
Thank you. As advice from a unionist. Songa, I think I'll give you enough time to respond, and I think that's very good for you. Honorable Kororia.
Thank you, Chair. I also want to join my colleagues to congratulate the CS for the good intervention, and also the SG and the other leaders, because we need the students back to class. It is very difficult, Chair, convince students in all levels of education that they are going to get education, get jobs that will give them salaries, if the people who are teaching them are not getting enough salaries and on time. I would ask our chair to incorporate all the government leaders involved, including parliament, to make sure that we do away with anything that is not a priority in this country and get enough money to pay the lecturers once and for all. And if possible, we can even double their salaries so that they are able to do their work accordingly. there are very many issues and very many ministries in the Republic that we can suspend a bit and get the same funds to come and settle the issue on education once and for all. It is becoming difficult to convince students to study hard, become teachers and lecturers, because they are seeing their lecturers are at home. And it is difficult also to convince the students they are going to be employed by the government if their own lecturers are at home. But all in all, we are asking the SG and the team to have mercy on the public university students, because the students in private schools are going on with their studies, and those students are feeling like they are losing. Thank you, Chair.
It's actually they are not feeling, but they are losing. They are losing. They are losing. And I think we, as I had given new members and everyone else, that we need to have a point of convergence. And SG, I know you very well that you're a fighter and you've achieved a lot for your members. And on their behalf, Kudeya and Tusu,
Thank
you
you,
being their
Honorable
leader.
Chair.
Yes, I want to give you about 3-4 minutes.
3-4 minutes.
Yes, and then we.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I want to thank this committee for listening to us. For the sake of the children and students of this country, we are going to convene the organs of the union so that we can reconsider. However, the ministry should apologize to us for calling us confused and that we should go back to class. The next thing, IPCCF should reconsider how they manage university staff. A study should be conducted on motivational and job satisfaction needs of public university workers in Kenya. The way IPCCF manages university staff is perfunctory. If you can see the way lecturers came out to strike, those are people who could go up to January. But because of your chairmanship, because of the honorable members that have talked to us, I'm going to plead with our members so that we can reconsider. You don't push us. You don't call us names. The next thing I'm saying, the worst of the worst, Chair, is 80-20. They give us 80% and 20% to remain. 80% will be 5 billion. So that 2 billion is taken to 2026, 2027. My irreducible minimum, for the sake of you and the honorable committee members and the students of this country. Thank you very much.
Other members. You are not the owner of the past. So we are arbitrators. Yes. I want to give the CS, first of all, CS and your team,